The motorcade wasn't supposed to steal the spotlight. When the convoy of black armored vehicles rolled into downtown Kuala Lumpur, cameras were focused on the visiting president, security teams, flags, diplomats. But something strange happened. Millions of people watching the clip online suddenly stopped paying attention to the motorcade. Malaysians watching this, comment your city below and hit subscribe. Let's show the world what Malaysia really looks like. Their eyes drifted to the background. Behind the flashing lights and sirens was a city that didn't look like what most people imagined when they heard the word Malaysia. Elevated highways curved through the skyline like ribbons of steel. Massive glass towers reflected sunlight across the city. Trains glided quietly on elevated tracks between districts that looked clean, modern, and strangely futuristic. Within hours, the clip exploded across the internet, not because of politics, because of the comments. People kept asking the same question. Wait, where's this? Is this Singapore? Why does this look more modern than cities in the US? And then the one that showed up thousands of times. Are we sure this is a developing country? If you're Malaysian watching this right now, you probably felt that moment, that quiet little smile when you read those comments, that small feeling of pride in your chest, because suddenly the rest of the world was noticing something you've been living with every day. But here's the crazy part. That viral video wasn't the thing that surprised me the most. What shocked me happened after. For the last 3 months, I've been moving between some of the most famous cities in the world. New York, London, Paris. Cities that for decades defined what a modern global city looked like. Cities that wrote the rule book. But after spending time in those places, and then landing in Kuala Lumpur, something became very clear. Malaysia's infrastructure isn't just catching up anymore. In many ways, it's quietly pulling ahead. And I didn't expect to say that, because for most of our lives we were told the same story. If you wanted to see the best infrastructure on Earth, you went to the West. New York had the legendary subway. London had the historic underground. Paris had the elegant metro system that inspired cities across the world. These systems were engineering masterpieces when they were built, but something changed over time. Something nobody really talks about. Those systems stopped being built for the future. Instead, they started fighting just to survive the past. Let me give you an example. A few weeks ago in New York, I was standing underground waiting for a train that should have arrived 10 minutes earlier. The display board kept flashing the same message. Delayed. People around me didn't look surprised. They didn't complain. They just shrugged, because delays had become normal. 40 minutes later, the train finally arrived. The station looked like it hadn't been renovated in decades. Paint peeling, lights flickering, concrete walls stained by years of neglect. And the crazy part? My monthly subway pass there costs over $200. $200. Now jump to London. The underground is legendary. Everyone knows it. But ride it for a week and you notice something strange. The tunnels feel tight and cramped. Platforms turn into ovens during summer. And delays happen so often that locals treat them like weather. Oh, yeah, that line is always slow. Then there's Paris. Beautiful stations, historic architecture, but packed trains, rising costs, and frequent strikes. 3 of the most famous transit systems in the world, all struggling to keep up with modern demand. And that's when a strange realization hit me. Western infrastructure today often feels like a museum, a beautiful museum, but still a museum. Old bridges carrying modern traffic, rail systems designed before computers serving passengers with smartphones. Every upgrade turns into years of political debate. Projects take decades, budgets explode, and slowly, quietly, people adjust their expectations downward. Delays become normal. Breakdowns become routine. People accept dysfunction as part of city life. I accepted it too. I thought that was just the price of living in a major global city. Then my plane landed in Kuala Lumpur, and that belief collapsed faster than I expected. Because the first thing that greets you in any city isn't the skyline, it's the airport. And airports reveal the truth about a country very quickly. If you've ever flown through Heathrow in London, or JFK in New York, or LAX in Los Angeles, You already know the experience. Long lines, confusing layouts, crowded terminals. But walking into Kuala Lumpur International Airport felt like stepping into a different timeline. The space was huge, bright, calm. People moved smoothly through immigration. Clear signs guided passengers in multiple languages. Automated trains glided between terminals. And the strange thing was, nothing felt chaotic. The airport handles tens of millions of passengers every year, but it doesn't feel overwhelmed. It feels organized, efficient, like the system was actually designed for the people using it. Within half an hour of landing, I was already on a train heading toward the city center. No confusion, no stress, just smooth movement. And that's when the question first popped into my head. If the airport already feels as modern, what does the rest of the city look like? Before we continue, quick moment. If you enjoy discovering stories like this about cities people underestimate, hit the subscribe button right now, because most global media never tells these stories. They overlook places like Malaysia, but on this channel we break down the cities quietly shaping the future. And trust me, what happens next in Kuala Lumpur gets even more surprising, because airports can look impressive. That part is easy. The real test of the city comes later, when ordinary people start moving through it every day. So the real question is this: when you step outside the airport and into daily life, does the system still work? Or does the illusion fall apart the moment commuters show up? That's exactly what I wanted to find out. And what I discovered inside Kuala Lumpur's transit system completely changed my expectations. But before we get there, you need to see the one thing that made Western cities start falling behind in the first place. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. So, what exactly happened to the infrastructure that once defined the modern world? Subscribe if you want to see more stories the world is missing about Malaysia. A strange thing happens when something breaks slowly. People stop noticing it. That's exactly what happened to infrastructure in many Western cities. Nothing collapsed overnight. There was no dramatic moment where everything suddenly failed. Instead, systems built decades ago simply kept aging year after year, while the world around them changed. Cities grew larger, populations increased, technology advanced. Malaysians watching this, comment your city below and hit subscribe. Let's show the world what Malaysia really looks like. But the infrastructure underneath those cities stayed mostly the same. Imagine trying to run a 2026 smartphone on a computer built in 1995. That's basically what many major Western transit systems are trying to do. Take New York again. The subway system is one of the largest on Earth. It moves millions of people every day. When it was built, it was revolutionary. But today, many parts of that system are more than a century old. Signals that control train movement were designed long before digital technology existed. Tracks laid generations ago now carry trains that must serve a completely different city than the one they were built for. Every repair becomes complicated, every upgrade becomes expensive, and every improvement takes years of debate before construction even begins. London faces the same challenge. The Underground is historic, it's famous, it's a symbol of the city, but history comes with a price. Many tunnels were built in the 1800s. Platforms are narrow. Ventilation struggles during heat waves. Expanding the system often means digging through layers of old infrastructure already buried beneath the city. Paris isn't very different. Beautiful stations, elegant architecture, but aging systems, crowded trains, and growing maintenance challenges. So what happens when a city's infrastructure becomes older than the technology it needs to support? Simple. Cities start spending most of their energy maintaining the past instead of building the future. Bridges designed in the 1950s now carry modern traffic. Rail networks planned before computers must handle passengers with smartphones and digital payment systems. And the result? Something subtle but powerful. Expectations slowly drop. People begin to accept delays. They plan extra time for broken systems. They adjust their lives around infrastructure that no longer works perfectly. It becomes normal. And once something becomes normal, nobody questions it anymore. until they see something different. That moment happened to me the first morning I used public transportation in Kuala Lumpur. I woke up expecting the usual routine. Crowded platforms, late trains, confusing connections. Basically the same frustrations you experience in most big cities. Instead, something unexpected happened. The train arrived exactly when the app said it would. Not roughly, exactly 3 minutes. The countdown on the digital display hit 0, and the train rolled into the station. Doors opened. Passengers stepped in calmly. No pushing, no chaos. The platform itself felt completely different from what I was used to. Air conditioning cooled the entire station. Glass safety doors separated passengers from the tracks. Bright digital screens showed arrival times clearly. Everything looked new, not recently repaired. Designed this way from the start. That's when the realization hit. Many Western transit systems were built for the past and constantly upgraded to survive the present. But Kuala Lumpur's rail network was designed for the future from the beginning. The difference shows everywhere. Instead of patching old systems together, the city built modern MRT and LRT lines that connect logically across the entire metropolitan area. Routes are integrated. Transfers make sense. The network expands outward like a planned system instead of a collection of historical accidents. And one project in particular shows exactly how serious Malaysia is about building long-term infrastructure. The massive circular rail line currently wrapping around the greater Kuala Lumpur region, a ring connecting districts in a way that eliminates one of the biggest weaknesses older systems suffer from: backtracking. In many Western cities, commuters often have to travel into the city center before going back out again to reach another neighborhood. It wastes time. It overloads central stations. But a circular route solves that problem completely. Passengers move around the city instead of through it. This might sound like a small design choice, but it changes how millions of people travel every day. And here's the part that really surprised me. The trains themselves don't even have drivers. They're automated, fully computerized systems designed with modern technology from day one. Reliable, precise, consistent. The network operates with reliability levels that older systems struggle to achieve, which explains something fascinating. In cities like London or New York, if your train arrives only 10 minutes late, people feel lucky. In Kuala Lumpur, if a train arrives 2 minutes late, people notice, because it's unusual. Now here's the detail that really breaks your brain. All of this costs less than a single cup of coffee in many Western cities. A typical MRT ride in Kuala Lumpur can cost less than $1. Comfortable stations, clean trains, reliable schedules, affordable fares. That combination is incredibly rare in major global cities. And if you're Malaysian watching this right now, here's something I want you to think about. The system you use every day, this smooth experience you barely think about anymore, millions of people around the world would consider it a luxury. If you're proud of what your country has built, do me a quick favor. Hit the like button and subscribe right now. It tells the algorithm that stories about Malaysia deserve global attention. And drop a comment telling me which MRT or LRT line you ride most often. Because the more people share their real experiences, the harder it becomes for the world to ignore what's happening here. But public transport is only part of the story. Because when I left the train station and stepped back outside into the city, I saw something else that made the situation even more interesting: the skyline. And that skyline raised a completely different question. Because towering above Kuala Lumpur was a structure so massive it changed the global rankings of skyscrapers. A building so tall it forced the world to pay attention. But the real story isn't how tall it is. The real story is why it was built in the first place. And once you understand that strategy, you start realizing Malaysia isn't just building infrastructure. It's building an entirely new economic future. So the next question becomes obvious. Why is Kuala Lumpur suddenly building some of the most ambitious projects on Earth, while many older cities struggle to renovate what they already have? Subscribe if you want to see more stories the world is missing about Malaysia.